Hey guys, you know who I am. You know who you are. What's going on, everybody? It's 1987 Mastermind, and I got some good stuff for you guys tonight. Congratulations to we took our country back. Thank God, we took back our country, and bye bye Nancy Pelosi. Thank God, we got rid of that witch. I think I have a good joke, by the way. Before we start, one guy sent me this message of my one wish for Christmas, for those who celebrate it, is that Nancy Pelosi goes to the North Pole and stays there. Tell me if you guys like that one. I think that's pretty funny. Anyways, I wanted to get into more healthcare stuff. I mean, some more striking. There are more reasons, in my opinion, why we got to get rid of this Obamacare now, immediately. A couple of things. One, if you actually count everything without the gimmicks, without all the gimmicks in the healthcare bill that the Democrats use to say that so-called reduces the deficit, this healthcare law, according to the Congressman Paul Ryan, increases our deficit by $700 billion. Yeah, we got to repeal the healthcare system, but there's some more reasons, much more reasons, that we got to repeal Obamacare. Okay. This is from John Goodman, and this is from NCPA, National Center for Policy Analysis. He's one of the most respected, doctors and the healthcare experts on this issue. Let me start the article. We know how many people have the problem most often cited. The reason for last year's healthcare overhaul legislation. Answer: 8,000. Now, that's not a misprint. Out of 310 million Americans, only 8,000 people have the problem given as the principal reason for spending almost $1 trillion. So what he's trying to say is that the only reason why, the main, reason for passing the healthcare law last, what was it, March or April? I forgot when. The only reason why they wanted to pass that was because of pre-existing conditions. In other words, if you have some pre-existing condition, the healthcare company would be required to cover you. Yeah. But I'm not going to get into that issue. That's not the issue. I'm getting into the issue, the reason why Obamacare has failed. Obamacare has failed. Stimulus is a failure. Everything that Obama passed, besides the only thing that he could run on, which I think is an amazing point, the only thing that's popular that he actually ran on was the tax cuts, and that's not even his legislation. I shouldn't say tax cuts, the tax rates, because those are the rates that have been there in the past 10 years. Now let me continue. Creating more than 150 regulatory agencies and causing perhaps 150 million or more people to change coverage they now have. So in other words, this makes things worse. In other words, people that already had health coverage, already had health coverage or are happy with their health coverage, have to change it because of the expenses and the rising costs of healthcare right now. It's skyrocketing. I have another article to prove that, by the way, from the Los Angeles Times, an article from there. But that just proves to you. I mean, this healthcare bill was a failure. This wasn't about healthcare. This is about political expediency. That Obama could be, JFK couldn't pass it, and who else? Hillary Clinton, Hillary Care, and all those other guys couldn't pass it. Because now Obama could pass it. Like Nancy Pelosi said, we have to pass the bill before knowing what's in it. I mean, doesn't that reveal anything to you? Why do they want to rush the bill? They knew this bill sucked. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. And they're affecting, for 8,000 people, and they predicted, by the way, the chief actuary on health, Medicare, I believe, said, the chief actuary on Medicare said only that 375,000 people would be covered by now. 8,000 out of 310 million. Is that what we spent 4.3 trillion, I believe it is, if you take out the gimmicks, for, to create a $700 billion deficit? No, thank you. Anyways, alert readers will remember that the White House, summer of 2009, invitation to all Americans to send their horror stories describing health insurance industries. One second. Although the complaints were many, the vast majority were about pre-existing condition limitations. Then On the eve of the vast Obamacare vote, every member of Congress who appeared on television to defend the legislation was able to cite by name an individual family in their state or congressional district with the wrenching story. I mean, please, and yet only 8,000 people were recovered? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's ridiculous. It's just... Okay, here. It's been like giving party to which no one comes. The Medicare program chief actuary, like I said, predicted that actually it was 70,000 people would sign up for the risk pool insurance in 2010, which they said would solve pre-existing conditions. I added that in because that's basically what he's talking about. By the end of November, only 8,000 people have done so. Okay, to be exact, in which state? As Amy Goldstein reports, the Washington Post, which is no conservative website, it includes 75 people from Virginia, 80 people in New Hampshire, 97 in Maryland, and a whopping 700 in North Carolina. And that is why we passed this healthcare debacle monstrosity. You gotta be freaking kidding me. It is killing budgets everywhere. There's another article that I have to talk about that it just proves. I have no, the other past videos that I've read, we have to, that's like the number one issue. Besides reforming all the entitlement programs such as Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and all those programs. But 8,000 pre-existing conditions basically means, for those who don't know, it means that if you have a condition such as heart disease or whatever it is, the healthcare company has to cover you. Now let me make a point. This is kind of a little bit off topic, but I think it's a crucial point that I have to make. What if the person was a guy who never took care of himself? He ate fatty foods his whole life. His doctors were warning him, you can't eat this stuff, you're going to get a heart attack, etc. And the guy said, I don't give a damn. I like nachos, I like pizza, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And he ate it anyway. Should I have to be responsible for that person's health care? Should he be responsible for himself and maybe eat better before he gets the health coverage? Unless he's not in serious danger. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, there's another article that I really have to read. This is from the Los Angeles Times. Blue Shield of California, it's a healthcare insurance company, seeks rates hikes as much as 59% for individuals. I'd be remiss if I don't want to be plagiarizing or anything, but I got these articles. It doesn't make a difference which website it is, so I don't want anybody saying, oh, it's conservative, oh, it's Mark Levin, okay? Yeah, I got this from marklevinshow.com. All these, because one great thing that he does is all the articles that he reads from, he gives you links to. So I just follow the link and got the article. So this article is from the Los Angeles Times. All right. Blue Shield of California, a health insurance company, seeks rate hikes as much as 59% for individuals. Obama, I'm going to make another crucial point. Mark Levin on his show said Obama, and this is here. Look, direct quotes from him, by the way. Direct quotes from President Obama saying that people's health insurance plans will be cut by $25,000. Lie. There's another lie Obama made. I mean, there are tons of lies that President Obama made, but this is just one of them. I mean, it's just ridiculous. This is not some conservative conspiracy theory, my friend. You could look these articles up for yourself. Go to marklevinshow.com. Follow the link. It's there. This is the Los Angeles Times. This is not a conservative website. Okay? Anyway. Let me get back to the article. Sorry, guys. Insurers say that increases result from fast rising healthcare costs and other expenses resulting from new healthcare laws. So in other words, what he's saying is this is directly a result from Obamacare. Not from anything else. Not from George Bush. Because I know what liberals would say. Oh, it's Bush's fault. Anyway. Excuse me. The move comes less than a year after Anthem Blue Cross tried and failed to raise rates as much as 39%. I know another big California health insurer has stunned individual policyholders with huge rate increases. This time, it's Blue Shield of California, seeking cumulative hikes as much as 59% for tens of thousands of consumers March 1st. Blue Shield's action comes less than a year after Anthem Blue Cross tried to pass and failed to raise the rates as much as 39%, about 700,000 to about 700,000 California customers. San Francisco-based Blue Shield said the increases were a result of the fast-rising healthcare costs and other expenses resulting in from new healthcare laws. So in other words, the previous year, meaning 2009, they wanted to raise healthcare for Blue Anthem Cross, I think that's what it's called, 39% for 700,000 people in Los Angeles. And they say, this is the actual insurance company saying this is a result of Obamacare. I mean, does that even need more proof? People are losing their coverage health left and right. People with health care is skyrocketing. I know numerous people, not anybody, my friend from school told me that his health care policy rose by 12%. And Obama said it's going to be cut. And you know, the Democrats, this bill was almost passed 2 years ago saying, oh, Obamacare has to be implemented. If the American people actually see what's in, this package, they're going to like it. And we don't. Look what's going on. This is more of a reason. Besides the budget buster that this healthcare bill is, $700 billion deficit, the fact that healthcare is being increased like crazy for individuals. It's not cutting costs. Okay, it's not covering people with pre-existing conditions. Only 8,000 people, and they predicted by October that 375,000 people would go to that risk pool program that would cover their pre-existing conditions, and it didn't. And I just remember watching this. I'm a political guy. I've been a political guy even the start of these videos. I remember watching it. The sob stories. Oh God. I remember those sob stories, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, if we don't pass this bill, this guy lost his lungs and died because he couldn't get a pre-existing condition coverage, and only 8,000 people elected to go to there. Healthcare costs are rising like crazy. I could rant on for hours. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's continue the article. I think it's really... San Francisco-based Blue Shield said increases were a result of the fast-rising healthcare costs and other expenses resulting in the healthcare laws. We raise rates only when absolutely necessary to pay the accelerating costs of medical care for our members, the nonprofit insurer told customers last month. In all, Blue Shield said 193,000 policyholders would see increases in average 30 to 35%. I know I'm sounding like, this is amazing. It's bothering me like anything. The result of 3 separate rate hikes since October. Nearly 1 in 4 affected customers will see a cumulative increase of more than 50% over 5 months. While most policyholders received separate notices for the successive rate hikes, others were given the news all at once because they had contracts guaranteeing their rates for a year. Blue Shield spokesman Tom Epstein said, oh my gosh. This is in San Francisco, right? Let me just check. Yeah, 193,000 people are going to see their healthcare policies increase 30 to 35%. Okay? That's unbelievable. This is happening in Los Angeles and San Francisco. Okay, here's another example. I have to do this because, my gosh, we have to get rid of this Obamacare now. That is the #1 thing we should be doing besides cutting our deficit and cutting taxes. Michael Fraser, a Blue Shield policyholder from San Diego, learned recently that his monthly bill would climb from 59% to $259, $431 from $271. That's crazy. And yet, we were told that everybody would get healthcare, it wouldn't cost anything or anything. That just shows you. Mark Levin says this, and I think it's such a true statement. Whatever the government touches turns to crap. The only thing that solves problems, the only way to go, is free enterprise. The free market. Who knows better, okay? Who knows better? With this, I'll close. Who knows better? A doctor or a bureaucrat? Who knows better? I'll give you an example of business. Who knows better, a business owner or a small business